the case page and then the framework page.
And global open preview first.
Yeah. Anybody not ready? The app is one giant critique of telos and using certain spaces like debate as spaces of change, which means that if you feel like the app is even marginally undercovered in the last speech, you should vote for it because all of their arguments are simple attempts to poke holes in the app's efficacy will impact her in that. Publicly articulating reluctance to engage in the political will is ethically imperative for white privileged queer voices because we have access to legal spaces where our voices are actually intercepted. My queerness is always juxtaposed with deviant queerness of monster terrorist fact we currently house in Guantanamo because people like me continually refuse to disidentify with the assimilationist logics continually reproduce the child and the dangerous queer the child is threatened by. There are two top-level arguments that will always be true because they've been conceded. The first is that the app is good because it is, and the one is he shot evidence that has never been specifically answered is the rejection of futurism and an affirmation of opportunity is always a political activist identifies as psychosocial justification for policy and rejects that notion and the app spills over by being an obstacle to an otherwise omnipresent process. By actually winning debates, the app creates an atmosphere of refusal, the constitution, the hidden violence of the president, which means all the questions about what the app actually does to produce changes and security. They've conceded the mechanism of the app is by use the ballot structurally to normalize the reasons of refusal so that other group people have the ability to get up and comfortably engage in anti-statist politics like the app. There's another reason why anti-futurity is really good. The second can be conceded top argument is that the hidden violences of the app outweigh the one and cruise and shot evidence, explicate the policy-making process under a futurist paradigm. Regions of the world in which we're potentially able to justify and feel something desirable to be imperialized because we feminize them and represent them as queer while simultaneously representing entire cultures in an inherently orientalist way because we pointed them wax poetically about how they aren't as gay-friendly as the West. It's a homo nationalist politics that you justify endless wars or refuses of politics that exists for the sole purpose of saving the child because of the futurity bad for argument I just made that also inevitably results in the creation of monsters that threaten the FD always will always be more specific in its psychoanalytic account of violence, which effectively makes it try or die because they consider that endless war impact as well as pinkwashing impact coming out of the left speech of the following bill. You say the extension of the political evidence applies to the app. I don't think it does. Our argument was never that we can solve co-option as a phenomenon, but rather that this is one giant uniqueness argument for the app that is assumed by us. Our argument is that the way in which status quo queer politics work is to be assimilated by things like gay pride parades and Lady Gaga concerts. The reason why the app exists because all of the change-based skills which you advocate for on the framework page it definitely gets co-opted by the actors which you identify on the case page are bad. Probably a double turn. The reason why the app is the try or die / the only hope for changing status quo. The framework page. I like that you only went for the education argument because I think this is where we've got the most amount of impact, the most amount of offense on. You conceded a top-level critique of portable skills, and it's the easiest reason why you should run a affirmative debate. Lack of regard for common sense should lose the debate because the situation, therefore, with the larger process of masculinization of thought and indicates that tropes determine who political thinkers consider rational and truthfully logical, which is obviously critiqued by and resolved by the app because it occurs according to gender binaries arguments, or because they aren't relevant to discussion, only considered such because the discussion is dictated by masculine speeches, which is why this argument was flagged in the Twixie as well as the 1AR being a global indicted the topic construction process. The ways in which debate came to be, instead of just flying with the negative characterization of the resolution, just crawling out of primordial debate soup, you should understand debate and the resolutions being ultimately projects of masculine thinkers attempt to redefine for logocentric rational thought value, relating with concepts like clash and activism. This argument is also marked in the Twixie as a deeper internal link or takeout to any of their arguments about the normal debate being good for education, because even if they win, the debate is a value-neutral site for producing education. They have an answer to argument that it doesn't, or it isn't able to be mobilized by queer voices. That was the argument I was getting to in the process of the Twixie when I indicated that because Lisa Brown is thrown off of the Senate floor in Michigan when she says the word vagina, politics aren't able to be mobilized by queer scholars specifically because their politics are always scripted as being irrational and feminist in origin, which is the reason why there's no impact to the critique even if they win the framework is a better interpretation for debate because their method is flawed. The next argument is the next argument is that we make debates still. I don't think that anything inherent to their interpretation of debate solves this because if we were to plan, they probably would have read the JCS counterplan in politics state. It's probably the reason why their education is truly indicative of the policy-making process, and the reason why the affirmative framing debate and the affirmative framing records of being tried or die is good for opening up the space to or get acknowledged production, which is also in the Hamilton card. I'll say later. The argument about military presence / topic education good does not assume the app's very specific discussion of how military presence constructs itself according to heteronormative tropes. So it means that one, their offense doesn't apply to us because he always had to interrogate military presence to get here in the first place, which I got to in crossing to the 2C. And two, they do not solve ours because their conception of military presence is problematically singular. The 1AT and VR evidence indicates that it's premised off of a certain construction of security which is constructed constructed according to heteronormative binaries, because what is considered insecure is developed and associated with what is not considered secure, and that is all we can find out what is normal, which means normality is a framework for which you should evaluate all of this debate. The seat of political argument, I think that there's no impact because this argument is not specific debate, it's an active and informed, which means there's even one row, if there's even a small risk in my analysis on the case page is more specific debate as a slight of change. You should probably refer the aspect on how seat political occurs. It's also probably a reason, even if you win this argument, that all of your arguments about politics being or debate being a site for change are not true, because you conceded that neoconservative villain isn't no. Well, you've also conceded all of the when I see evidence which indicates that hetero or homonationalism is a politic through which that occurs, which means the app is uniquely key to resolving this, which is the argument I also extend on the case page. The next argument you make is an extension of switch debate. I don't think that this is really offensive, because you conceded our argument that the affirmative mechanism is constant refusal, otherwise all of our impacts become true, which is extension of the one error. Your argument that it doesn't need to be tied to the ballot is false, because you conceded our mechanism, which is using the ballot to literally normalize those discussions. The second argument is that your double blind probably doesn't answer our double blind. Our argument is that even if they win the switch debate, or the thesis of switch debate is true, it doesn't answer. It's not a good place for you to be in your predictability, because it just means that the affirmative would be happy to be on the negative. And any of the arguments about why no resolution to guarantees a point of stasis are reasons why the affirmative also guarantees that stasis by being normalized in debate. The T-version arguments all are assumed by all of our offenses, probably where you can frame their strategy versus ours in debate, because they haven't answered one, the respectability of politics argument, which indicates that even if reform is possible by certain people, that reform does not take place for other non-normative bodies, i.e. trans people who aren't interconforming, like queer people of color, and lots of bodies who just aren't encompassed by status quo, like reformist efforts, which is their case evidence, and two, it causes pink washing because it makes it so that social capital better those groups. That's effectively what the T version is, and it's the reason why the T version is called the app, and the app is uniquely good.